Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard, Cisneros at your service. Today I will be reading the November 27th Facebook post and making a few comments on it, and I trust that it will assist both of us on our journeys. If it does assist you, please be so kind as to, if you're watching on Facebook, give it a thumbs up here. And if you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up down here. It helps with the listening process, and it can help somebody find this video who might need it. Okay, here we go. Happy Thanksgiving Day. On this Thanksgiving Day, let us dedicate this day to gratitude, making it our conscious, constant companion. How would your day and life begin to shift if instead of judging a situation, instead of asking why or why me, we simply trusted and said thank you to every moment, person, and interaction that presented itself to us? Today, before every interaction, we remind ourselves of our goal for the day and see the moment through gratitude's eyes. Today, when the ego insists on using judgment, worry, stress, we set them aside and trust that our Creator only has our best interests in mind, and that together with Him, we have brought this moment into our life to help us reach a deeper level of self-awareness and a higher level of consciousness. Today we simply trust and say thank you for the opportunity to practice seeing everyone, everything, and all through gratitude. Imagine for just one day, no matter what the ego throws our way, to dedicate this day to gratitude. No more do we put our time, energy, and focus into judging the situation, into becoming angry, stressed out, anxious, resentful, revengeful. No more do we spend our time and energy and focus on supporting the ego's thought system as true. No longer supporting a thought system that in truth has never supported us. And instead of using all of the ego's tools, all of the ego's decision-making tools, instead of using them, all we do is simply trust that God and us have created a perfect journey for our own development, for a greater self-awareness, for a higher level of consciousness. And we trust and we say thank you to each person, place, or thing. No matter how much the ego wants us to judge a situation, we do not do that today. We instead trust God and say thank you. Even when we're dealing with things that the ego would insist that we deal with in an unthankful manner. Let's give an example. Let's say you're dealing with anxiety. And so in your mind, there's no way you can be grateful for feeling anxiety. And so how do we feel grateful for feeling anxious? Let us understand why we have anxiety in the first place. Let's imagine us in a place of perfect love. And in this place of perfect love, we hear a call for help and healing from this planet. And we hear individuals dealing with anxiousness, with worry, with stress. And we make a decision and say, you know what? I think I can help there. I think I can help these people find peace instead of anxiousness. Trust in God's plan over the ego's plan. And so you decide to be born, and you decide to work on these issues with these individuals. But to work on these issues with these individuals, you first have to experience the illusion yourself. You have to experience this feelings of anxiousness, of stress, of anxiety, so that you can deal with the illusion, so you can learn about it, so that when you can release yourself from it, you're able to speak to those still in it through the proper usage of words and examples and life experience. And so you see, you dealing with anxiousness, the reason why you're dealing with anxiousness now is because you made a spiritual contract with God's source to help the individuals who are dealing with anxiousness now heal. To help them see that there is a better way, that there is a more love-filled way, that through trusting in God instead of the ego, you can find peace. And so of those dealing with anxiousness or anxious thoughts, when you're in that state, mental state, if you continue to feed that mental state, if you continue to feed that as true, it becomes bigger and bigger and a bigger and bigger part of your life. Because you're buying into the idea that somehow things are not working out in your best interest. But in truth, you came here to deal with these issues. And little by little, you will learn that as you focus on this, it becomes bigger. As you stop this thought process, it becomes smaller. And so you see, this becomes bigger or smaller because of you and your thinking and your decision to either focus on it or stop that thinking. And so when you are anxious and then you say, okay, I've been here many times before. I've played in that. I've put my time and energy and focus into that, and it became bigger and bigger, and maybe I had a panic attack or many panic attacks. And so you start to say, well, maybe there is a better way. What if I don't invest so much time, energy, and focus into that? What if I just stop it and instead tell myself, today I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust God that everything that's happening in my life is happening for my best interests, so that I can reach a higher level of consciousness, so that I can help awaken my brothers and sisters from their own illusion of anxiousness. And so when you start to feel anxious, stop. Don't feed it anymore with your time and energy and focus. Instead, trust in God. Trust that God has your best interest in mind. Trust that God, love himself, herself, can only give you something that's loving to you. And so this is simply a part of your lesson plan, part of your mission here in life. Whatever illusions you're dealing with, remember that that's simply part of what you came here to do, part of your mission. And so you're here to deal in this example, anxiousness, and to leave this state of anxiousness and to come into a state of peace and trust. And by doing so, becoming an example to these individuals that this does not have to be their experience. They no longer need to participate in the illusion. They do no longer need to make this a bigger part of their lives. There is another way. And simply that is to trust in God. To trust that you have co-created your perfect journey with Source. To help people remember that the love in them is the only thing that's real. And that every moment in our lives is being gifted to us to help align with the truth in us, the love that we are. And so when we remember this, when we're able to leave the illusion and align with our source and look back at our past illusions, we are now grateful that we went through it, because now we can become an example that this can't be gotten through. So this can happen with everything, quote unquote, negative you're dealing with anger. If you're buying into a bunch of anger, judgment, resentment, jealousy, anxiousness, stress, worry, whatever illusion we're buying into, we have made the conscious decision. Well, we have made a spiritual contract with this planet and the people in it to help release them from that illusion. And unconscious, of it as we may be, that is why we are experiencing the illusion. When we leave the illusion, when we find a better way and look back at it through our highest self, we then, because we are this beautiful example that you can't get through the illusion, we become grateful for our experience, because it is our experience that will help our brothers and sisters release themselves from the illusion. And so that way you can be grateful for anger, you can be grateful for jealousy, for resentment, for revenge, for whatever illusion the ego has made you buy into. And so today when we're offering this day to gratitude, no matter how the ego tries to force us away from giving gratitude to God's source and to our higher self, no matter what it tries to have us buy into, now we know that no matter what illusion it is, we can be grateful for it. Because this is a part of our plan, a part of our mission, a part of what gives our life's purpose. And so all this negativity, this illusionary negativity, we have chosen to swim in so that we can heal ourselves from it, so that we can become an example that our brothers and sisters can release themselves also from the illusion, so that we all can once again unite in the state of love, in the state of peace, in the state of joy and gratitude. We can all live that in every single moment of every single day. That's free will. That's becoming awakened. That's awakening. That's what happens when you awaken. You realize that everything in the past was of use to you, was a gift to you, and that you will become an example of this gift to your brothers and sisters who are still buying into the darkness that's real. And you will be that light that will help them release themselves and get themselves out of that tunnel of darkness that the ego sold to them as being their home. And so if we can be grateful for all that negativity that the ego has us buy into, we can obviously also be grateful for all the beautiful things that happen to us throughout the day. And so no matter if our day is positive or negative, we can easily offer gratitude for it, because now we start to understand that every moment is indeed a gift that we have chosen to release us from the illusion. And so that is what we will do today. Excuse me, today. It's late. Today, yes. Simply be grateful for every person you meet, for every situation you have, for every moment. Simply go into the situation, into the interaction, with gratitude as your goal. Whoever you're going to meet today, have gratitude be your goal for that interaction. Whatever the ego has you buy into, stop it. We've already played in that game. Today, we're specifically dedicating to gratitude. So when stress comes along, we stop it, and instead we offer gratitude for it. Because now we're realizing that we have chosen this. And we are removing ourselves from this today. So that once again we can become this light to help our brothers and sisters release themselves from the illusion. And so let us do that today. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you would be so kind as to like, share, or comment on the video, it would help with the listing process, and it might help somebody find this video who can use the information. If you'd like to leave me a comment or a question, I will be delighted to try and offer a response. And if you can please subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would love to have you in this community. Again, thank you so much for your time. I love you very much. And God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.